101 future frequency.
Welcome to the latest edition of 101 Future Frequency. My name's Simon McCaskill, and in just a moment you'll hear a conversation around the future of jobs in an AI-driven world. What jobs will thrive? What jobs are most at risk? And, of course, what does this all mean for the future of work? Now here's the twist. This is actually an AI replication of my voice. So as you listen to me now, just know that my actual voice is currently sipping coffee and probably worrying about what this all means. Let's dive in and see how we all might fare in the brave new world of AI. Oh, and by the way, everything you're about to hear, including me, is powered by AI.
101 future frequency.
Where tomorrow's conversations happen today.
101 future frequency.
All right. So let's dive into something that's been kind of buzzing around, in the news and everywhere lately.
Right.
AI and the future of work.
Yes.
I'm sure many of you have thought about this and maybe even worried a little bit.
Of course.
Is a robot can take my job.
Right.
And we are going to unpack that question today.
Absolutely.
Using some really interesting articles, expert opinions, and even data from job search engines.
That's right.
So we've got like a really nice...
Yeah, we've got a lot to dig into.
Yeah, a lot to dig into.
A lot of different perspectives.
Exactly. And I think, it is a little bit unsettling.
Oh, yeah.
To think about.
It's a valid question to be asking.
Yeah.
But the good news is we're not just going to dwell on that fear factor.
Exactly.
We're going to look at this from all angles.
Yeah.
Explore, the potential for job displacement.
Right.
But also the opportunities for human AI collaboration.
Yes. And think of it this way. AI is a tool.
Yep.
Like any tool, it can be used for good or for not so good.
Absolutely. It's all about how we use it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So how does all of this relate to you, like you listening right now, and your job?
Right.
A study came out
Okay.
that really shook things up. And it claimed that almost half
Wow.
of all U.S. jobs were at risk of automation.
Bit of a wake-up call, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is there's actually a website called Will Robots Take My Job?
Oh, really?
That uses a similar methodology, but with updated data to kind of assess the automation risk for different jobs.
Okay.
And they even give each job a score, like a job score.
A job score. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
I wonder what mine would be.
I know, right? We should check it out later.
Yeah, we should.
But getting back to like how much we should worry.
Yeah, are we really all going to be out of jobs?
Right. Is it really the end of work as we know it?
Well, one of the articles we have here, the AI Journal.
Yeah. Lists, data entry, customer service, bookkeeping, manufacturing, transportation, even retail as jobs facing a high risk of automation.
And there's actual data to back that up. The McKinsey Global Institute reports that something like 69% of data processing tasks could be automated.
Wow, 69%.
That's a huge chunk of work.
That's a lot.
And get this, Gartner predicts that by 2025, 95% of customer service interactions
Seriously?
will be powered by AI.
So almost every time you call customer service.
Yeah.
You're talking to a bot.
Likely, yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty mind-blowing.
It is mind-blowing. And for all of you customer service reps out there listening, what are your thoughts on that?
I'd love to know.
And also, for our listeners who are truck drivers, for instance,
right,
the potential for autonomous vehicles to really transform the trucking industry is huge.
Absolutely.
So this is like
a big deal.
A big deal.
Yeah. And for anyone listening, this is like a good moment to pause
and think what parts of your job could potentially be automated.
Yeah.
What tasks do you do that a machine could maybe do more efficiently?
Right.
And it's not about being scared. It's about,
being informed.
Yeah, being informed and being prepared for whatever the future holds.
Okay, so that's a great point. Like, we need to be prepared.
We do.
But how?
I mean, that's what we're going to dig into in the rest of this deep dive.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned.
All right, that's what we'll be exploring after the break.
101 future frequency.
Where tomorrow's conversations happen today.
A word from our sponsors.
Looking to give your hardworking robot companion the break they deserve? Welcome to Robo Resort, where artificial intelligence meets artificial paradise. Our state-of-the-art charging stations aren't just outlets. They're beachfront loungers under silicon palm trees. Watch your bot unwind in our electromagnetic spa, or join other automatons for a game of binary beach volleyball. Our premium oil changes come with a complete servo massage, and every unit gets access to our exclusive data streams with million-gigabyte ocean views. Book now at roboresort.com and get 20% off your robot's first stay. Use code RECHARGE at checkout. Robo Resort, where your helper becomes the helped. Because even robots need to compute their next adventure.
101.
101 future frequency.
101. Future frequency.
Okay, so we've talked about some jobs that might be, at risk.
Right.
But let's be honest, hearing that almost 70% of data processing tasks could be automated is a little unsettling.
It is.
What does that even mean for people in those roles?
Well, it's not necessarily about entire jobs just disappearing overnight.
Okay.
It's more about tasks within those jobs being done differently.
Okay.
Remember, AI is a tool.
Right.
And like any tool, it can be used to make things more efficient.
Okay.
Take data entry, for example.
Yeah.
A lot of it is repetitive and rule-based,
Right.
which makes it ideal for automation.
So instead of someone spending hours
Yeah.
manually inputting data,
Yeah.
AI could handle that,
Exactly.
freeing up the person to focus on more complex tasks
Right.
that require human judgment.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, so that's where the concept of upskilling comes in.
Exactly.
It means training workers to develop new skills
Yeah.
that are more in demand in an AI-powered workplace.
Right. It's like leveling up your skill set.
Leveling up.
And you know what's fascinating?
What?
The Deloitte report we have actually talks about how some companies are already doing this.
Really?
They're leveraging AI to automate those routine tasks,
Okay.
which allows their employees to take on more interesting and fulfilling roles.
That IKEA example you
Yeah.
mentioned earlier,
Exactly.
where they retrain their call center staff
Right.
to become interior designers.
Yeah. Pretty cool example of how AI can actually create opportunities.
Yeah, instead of just taking them away.
Exactly.
So it highlights the importance of focusing on those uniquely human skills
Yes.
that are harder to automate.
Absolutely. Like creativity,
Yeah,
critical thinking,
got it.
complex problem solving,
Mm,
emotional intelligence,
okay.
all those all important interpersonal skills.
So it's not just about being good with computers.
Right.
It's about being good with people, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You can't really program a robot to understand the
that's good.
nuances of human emotion
Okay.
or to come up with a truly original idea.
Yeah, like a marketing campaign or something.
Exactly, at least not yet.
Not yet.
So that's why it's so crucial to think about the future of your chosen field
Okay.
and how AI might be integrated into it.
Don't just bury your head in the sand and pretend it's not happening.
Exactly.
Okay, so knowledge is power.
It is.
So step one is understanding how AI is changing the game in your industry.
Right.
What comes next?
Well, next you need to analyze your current role.
Okay.
What are the technical elements of your job? And what are the people elements?
Okay.
Are there tasks that could be done more efficiently by AI,
Right.
freeing you up to focus on those human aspects?
So it's not about resisting AI.
No.
It's about working with it.
It's about finding ways to use it to your advantage.
Okay, and this brings us to a really crucial point.
Yes.
Continuously developing your tech skills and digital literacy.
In a world where technology is evolving so rapidly,
Yeah.
you need to be comfortable navigating the digital landscape.
It's like learning a new language.
I love that analogy.
If you want to thrive in a globalized world,
Yeah,
you need to be able to communicate effectively.
right.
And in today's world, tech skills are a form of communication.
Absolutely. And remember, learning doesn't stop after you graduate from school.
It's a lifelong thing.
Lifelong learning and adaptability.
Yeah.
Those are key.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
Jobs at risk, the importance of human skills, and how to future-proof your career
Right.
in an AI-driven world.
It's a lot.
But there's another aspect of this conversation
Yes.
that we can't ignore, and that's the ethical considerations surrounding AI.
That's right. It's a complex topic,
It is.
and one that our sources touch upon in various ways.
Yeah, like for example, Prospect Union raises concerns about AI contributing to job displacement.
Mm-hmm.
and the need for government regulation to ensure a just transition for workers.
That's a really important point.
Now, the Deloitte report emphasizes the responsibility of organizations
Yeah.
to create value for workers as human beings,
Yes.
not just as replaceable cogs in a machine.
Exactly.
They argue that businesses need to think beyond just profits
Right.
and consider the well-being of their employees in an AI-driven world.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
So as we navigate this new landscape of work,
Yeah,
it's essential to have open and honest conversations about the ethical implications of AI.
for sure.
How do we ensure that AI is used responsibly and
Oh.
benefits society as a whole?
Yeah, not just a select few.
Exactly.
Those are big questions.
They are.
And I don't think there are easy answers.
No, but it's a discussion we need to be having,
For sure.
both as individuals and as a society.
So what are your thoughts on this, listeners?
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
How do you think AI should be used in the workplace?
Let us know.
Okay, so much to think about, huh?
A lot of... Yeah.
But before we get too lost in the, in the ethical maze,
Right.
let's take a step back
Okay.
and just recap what we've kind of learned from this deep dive
Yeah, good idea.
into AI and the future of work.
Okay, so key takeaway number 1.
Okay,
The way we work is changing.
yeah,
AI is a big part of that change.
for sure.
But it's not just, robots are taking over.
Yeah.
End of story.
It's more nuanced than that.
It is much more nuanced.
Okay.
Some jobs are definitely more vulnerable to automation than others.
Right, especially those with, lots of repetitive tasks or heavy data processing.
Exactly.
But here's the good news.
Okay.
The skills that make us uniquely human,
Yes.
like creativity, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, complex problem solving.
Those are still so valuable.
Yeah.
In fact, they might be more valuable than ever
Okay.
in an AI-driven world.
So if you want to be, ahead of the curve,
Right.
those are the skills to focus on.
Absolutely.
And don't forget about continuous learning.
Yes.
The tech landscape is constantly evolving,
Always changing.
so staying up to date is key.
It's like that saying,
What's that?
the only constant is change.
Yeah,
And in this case, that change is happening at lightning speed.
it is.
But instead of fearing it, we can learn to adapt
Oh,
and even leverage AI to our advantage.
I like the way you put that.
Yeah.
It's not about AI versus humans.
Yeah.
It's about AI and humans working together.
Exactly.
Now, I know we touched on ethics earlier,
Right.
but there's one more thought I want to leave you with.
Okay.
Elon Musk.
Mr. Tesla.
Yeah, you know the guy with the rockets and the electric cars?
Mm-hmm.
He once said that there will come a point where no job is needed.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That's a pretty bold statement.
it is.
But it does make you think,
Yeah.
what would a world without jobs even look like?
Yeah.
Would it be a utopia where everyone has the freedom to pursue their passions?
I mean, that sounds pretty good.
It does.
Yeah.
Or would it lead to widespread inequality and social unrest?
Yeah. There are definitely two sides to that coin.
For sure.
And these are questions that, philosophers and science fiction writers
Right.
have been pondering for decades,
Yeah.
but now they're starting to feel a lot more real.
They are.
So I think it's important for all of us to start thinking about these things now.
I agree.
What does a future without jobs mean for you,
Yeah.
for your family,
Your community.
for society as a whole?
Yeah. It's a big question.
It is a big question.
But one worth pondering.
So listeners, that's our final thought for you today.
Yeah.
What does a future without jobs look like to you?
Let us know.
It's a big one.
101 future frequency.
Where tomorrow's conversations happen today. I hope you found that conversation useful. And, hey, if you're feeling a little nervous about what the future holds, then you're definitely not alone. If there's no element of uncertainty, are we even human? I feel exactly the same way. But here's the deal. This is about using AI to do things we wouldn't normally do. It's about pushing our creativity and capabilities to new heights, even when it's a little unnerving. And just to remind you, this is my AI voice saying this, but trust me, I really do believe it. Keep embracing the future and see where it takes you.
And that wraps up our deep dive for today.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.
We'll be back soon.
With more explorations.
101 future frequency.
Where tomorrow's conversations happen today.